Anna!
Canaan.
Here we are.
Here we are. Episode... You're supposed to say the episode.
Do you remember what episode it is?
Episode 5.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Episode 5.
Episode 5.
Blood, sweat,
tears.
See how we did that?
Yeah.
Instead of me, you, both of us, I went me, both of us, you.
Yeah. Thank you for doing that.
Well, everybody, we got another thrilling episode of The Sip and Truth. We got a lot of, intriguing things that have happened in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And, there's always something going on. Right?
That is very true. We are starting off this episode with a White Claw hard seltzer.
Hard hell seltzer.
I got peach flavor. And
I got lemon.
He's in trouble. He did something today. I just want to shout out one person real quick. And I promise that we're going to enjoy it soon. Brenny bought us a gift when they were in Mexico, I think, correct? Guatemala?
Yeah.
We'd love to bring you on so that you can talk about your trip. I'm sure it was amazing. But you brought us back some rum. And you gave it to the wrong person, obviously. Because they had one job.
I drank it all.
To bring it over today so that I was going to make us a drink. I got mixers for us so that I could make a drink today. Mm-hmm. And I was really excited. And what happened, Canaan?
You didn't text me to bring it. So I forgot. And... No, I forgot to bring it. I can't blame anybody else but Lissa. Clearly, producer is not doing their job as a producer. A producer would be like, "Here's all the things we need for the episode." So,
well, in her defense, producer was basically did say, "Give me the rum so I can take it home." And you're like, "Why? Why do you need to take it? Like, I'll bring it to you guys." And here we are, guys, drinking a White Claw.
Yep.
Yeah.
When there's nothing left, you drink water, and then you drink White Claw.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's okay. It's okay.
This lemon one is trash. That's my punishment.
Yeah, I said you have that gross.
I have to drink the lemon White Claw in totality to completion.
We're never going to hit the end of that. All right, so let's start off with like the main
Oh my God. The main event.
Yes.
So for those of you who aren't into boxing, and me being one of them, you may have... heard about a fight that happened between two wonderful, amazing contenders. This fight was phenomenal. Like, from round one till the end was nonstop action. And we even FaceTimed each other after, just talking about it. And that is, of course, the fight between Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. Okay.
I was like, please tell me he's going the way I think he's going to go right now because it's pretty bad.
I thought I told you I would at some point, when I first mentioned it. But
yes.
That fight was so good. I'm lucky.
Amazing.
Because I was not going to tune in before.
Me either. I wasn't going to watch it at all. I honestly don't know why. I mean, it's obviously all hype. Jake Paul's obviously a big YouTube sensation. We got Mike Tyson, who's an iconic legend. Yeah. And it was on Netflix. We didn't have to pay for anything unless you have to be paid for Netflix for the subscription.
True.
But we're just like, yeah, let's just watch it. And let's see what happens. And we thought it was going to go a completely different way, but... Right.
But I would rather take the time and energy to highlight the fight that we saw between Katie Taylor. Yes. Leading up, because... I had seen the one fight between those two guys. It was fine. But then these ladies came in, and it was just nonstop action the whole time. The punches, they did not pull back on. Whoa. That one lady who was Irish, she's apparently known for headbutting.
Oh, yeah, leaning in. Yeah. I didn't know this was their second time fighting. So
what do you mean? Just in general?
Yeah, they fought before.
Oh,
and that girl, Katie Taylor, won. This was the rematch that everybody was really rooting for Amanda Serrano to win, and unfortunately, she didn't. But it was a great fight.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth, and the main part is when she headbutted. Who headbutted who?
Katie Taylor. Yeah, Amanda got headbutted.
Yeah,
and that thing, and it was making me upset because. For whatever Netflix was just having a struggle. Like, essentially,
oh my God.
We'll go over, like, the posts of what people were saying. But it was just, like, buffering. It would be all of a sudden 25%. But I was talking, you were texting me.
Yeah.
And you were telling me stuff that I hadn't seen yet. And I'm like, wait, what's going on? I'm like, I think you're ahead of me. And you're just like, you need, like, scrub to the end. And then I did. Because he was just like, oh my God, look at the gash on her forehead. Or her. I'm like, what are you talking about? There's nothing there. And then I scrubbed to... to meet where essentially Canaan was at. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, it was gruesome. But then, like it was so weird to see, like, just the skin open.
Just
like, you could just...
I even think you said, like, look at her skin, it's flapping. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Yeah.
But they must have, like, put Vaseline in there so that it didn't,
for sure, multiple
out.
times. But every time she went to her corner to, like, put Vaseline and then wipe it down, like, she just went back at it.
Dude,
and I guess, of course, as a boxer, you're going to go to the point where you know it's going to hurt and cause the most damage. And obviously,
right.
I think I
so
told
they kept
you,
attacking that area.
I think I
felt that was cheap. But.
I was like, Canaan, that looks like a vagina on her on her eyebrow right now. And you're like, what? I'm like, bro.
Oh, absolutely.
It was horrible. But that was such a good fight.
But the fact that, like, if that had ever happened to me, one, I got punched in the face, but two, had my head gashed open, I would be in no condition to even contemplate. I would be in bed for a month. I would lay there and I would just have a sleep mask on my face the whole time. I wear an eye patch, which would make no sense, but
oh my gosh.
It was such a great fight, great energy, even to the last round. They both gave it their all.
Yeah.
And then it completely fell flat after that.
Yeah. Because we were so hyped. I'm like, okay, like, it's getting better and better, and this is going to be a great fight. And we were excited when it started. And that's when we started FaceTiming each other. We're just like, okay, let's watch this. And then you were having issues with your connection. And
yeah, like, I pay for really good internet, like 1 gigabyte speed internet from Spectrum.
Yeah, Spectrum. Yeah.
Spectrum can go get punched and have their head gashed open.
This episode is sponsored by Spectrum.
No!
At Spectrum, we bring you internet kind of fast enough for your needs, if you can afford it. Want customer service? Great. Be prepared to spend hours on hold, only to hear, we'll look into that. Our speeds are up to what we promise, but hey, let's not split hairs over technicalities. And our surprise fees, think of them as little gifts, just without the fun part. Spectrum Internet. We're not perfect, but hey, we know you don't have many other options. So see you next month. Again.
And it kept cutting out. And then Anna at some points had to, like,
turn
the camera around to, like, show the fight so I could watch.
And, like, my TV was, like, pixelated. Like, we couldn't, like, Lissa kept, like, making sure that if it, like, rebuffered, we, like, went to the end. Yeah. It was horrible. Anyway, it was anticipated to be a great fight. And I feel like we knew it was going to go...
I had no clue, personally.
2 ways, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, for me, I was like... I think everybody was hoping that Mike Tyson would just, like, demolish this guy. Mm-hmm. And he's almost twice the age of...
Yeah, 27 to 58.
Yeah. That's quite an age gap there. Yeah. For those of you who haven't seen it, just watch the movie Rocky Balboa. It's the 6th movie where he's, like, an older guy now and he's fighting the current champ or whatever. It's very similar to that.
Got it. Okay.
But, you're watching this fight happen, and for me, I was, like, excited. I'm like, he's going to drop him.
Yeah.
And I had already mentioned this.
Because there was, like, one, like, good punch that he got in. We were both like, oh, this is it.
Yeah,
and then nothing happened after that.
And then I think for me, and for, well, probably a lot of people, it was like, and I said this to you, it felt like, I think this is what I wanted, but now that I'm watching it, it is not at all. Like, this is very depressing. And even the crowd that was in the stadium, there were some cheers when Mike would do something, but even then it was just like,
taking bad punishment.
Mike does not look good right.
It felt this vibe of, like, everybody's, like, looking around like, oh, like, this is it's very depressing watching someone have to fight to get money, basically.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that would be the question that's on everybody's mind. Is it scripted?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, everybody I've talked to has either been, everybody mainly has been, it's scripted. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I think Jake Paul was definitely pulling his punches, and even the lady announcer at one point had said, "He's really, why is he not laying into him?"
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Why are you wishing ill on Mike Tyson?
And then I think it was just frustrating for like after the fact. I think after the fight was over and they had like their press conference and basically somebody had asked him that. Like, we noticed that you were kind of being light on him the last few rounds, and he's just like, well, like, why am I going to beat on someone that's already, you know, like, hurt? Or, like, why am I going to, like,
why even do the fight in the first place then?
Exactly. So.
And what I hate more is that it does a couple things for me. It tries to give Jake Paul a, like, you know, more respect from people. Be like, oh, well, he beat Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
But no. But then also we're giving him money by watching this event happen.
Exactly what we did, yeah.
Yeah. And then he was really weird the whole fight. Like, at some points he was like looking at Mike Tyson with his tongue out. Remember that? Where he's like waving his tongue out. And then he had this weird speech at the end when he was, you know, talking about like truth and power and.
Thank you, America. It's the era of truth. There's a shift in the world. The truth is rising. I'm just honored to be a part of America, and it feels like we're back, baby.
It felt, it was very gross.
Yeah.
Very weird, man. And then my favorite part, though, at the end was just when they're like, so Mike, we saw you like biting on your glove. Was everything okay with your mouth guard? He's like,
I have a biting fixation.
I loved it. It's
but
like,
even then, people were saying, and again, we're never going to know, but that, he had said that, but people are like, no, he doesn't. Essentially, he was doing that because he wanted to essentially just annihilate this kid, and he knew he couldn't. Like, so he was like, almost like it was a way for him to like, he's frustrated and he's holding back, but it was just like every time like he could possibly have hit him.
I don't know.
That would have been a great fight if he just knocked him right out.
I know, right?
Gosh.
But, you know, there's no money in that, I guess.
No.
But it was like the number one of all time.
Oh, yeah. They
so
got
now,
so much money off of this.
But now that's probably what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. There's money in it.
I think it was great for after the fact when it was all over. And then it was like a sad goodbye. We're just like, all right, well, because it lasted was it 8 rounds, 2 minutes around?
Yeah, I think.
2 minutes around, whatever.
Yeah.
And then towards the end, I was just like, all right, well, talk to you later, Canaan.
Yeah, we just even by round 5 we're like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah.
And then we still watched it, but it's like,
to completion, of course.
Of course.
But afterwards, I'm like, I'm on social media and I want to see what people say. And I'm like, me and Lisa are having the time of our lives because like the comments. Okay, one, if you saw or maybe didn't see the Netflix special, like they had cut to Mike Tyson when he had given like a real quick interview to I think his son or whatever, and he turned around and like shame on the people that cut to that because they didn't need to do him like that. They could have just got like his back.
Oh, his butt.
He was in like ashless chaps or something like that.
That was great. I love that.
And it was just like people were like commenting on that, and then essentially I sent you another comment, and it was just like who's he got next, Joe Biden?
Yeah.
I was like dying. And then I feel like somebody else had wrote like I think the real. What was it? Like the real person of the fight, or like basically Netflix better catch these hands because it was just like they were having issues with their router the whole time.
Yeah.
I don't know. The comments, I was living for them. It was so good. I was dying all night.
It's always like a fun thing is like when something happens. Sometimes when things happen to see the memes that happen.
Yeah.
If it's more of a serious thing, then it's
Yeah.
not as. But you know, if it's something silly like this, it's like
it was great.
Take the piss a little bit. I love it. But yeah, Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, both of you were remarkable.
Yeah.
Thank you for existing.
Great job, ladies. Great jobs.
All right.
Let's see what the future holds for them.
Yeah. Probably a fight number 3. Hey, every sequel, there's always a third.
But you never watched the first one, so I guess
exactly.
You watched the sequel to this fight, so I guess we'll see what happens to the next one.
That is true. And that is something that I've been sharing. I know we're about to get into it in a little bit, but like I've looked at all the movies that I saw this year that were sequels. There were 7 movies that I had not seen the original movie of.
Oh my god.
So there was like Dune, I think that was the first one. There was Mad Max or the Furiosa.
Yeah.
There was Smile 2. There was Gladiator, right? Yeah. And I shouldn't have told people at work because they looked at me like I was like evil incarnate. They're like, "What the hell? Like, what are you doing?" I'm like,
come on, bro.
It should be fine.
Well, segueing into a different topic real quick before we get into all the fantastic things we saw these last few weeks. The last time we went to go see a movie, we went into Barnes & Noble's, and they had this really cool Mona Lisa puzzle.
Oh, yeah.
Like Lego puzzle looking, Andy Warhol looking puzzle I wanted to get, which was, I think, maybe over 1,000 pieces.
Yeah. Now, to be clear, it's not a puzzle made out of Legos. It's a puzzle of Legos.
Of Legos, yes.
Right. Yeah.
That I thought was really cool. And I'm like, oh, I can do this. And then I can essentially frame it and I'm going to hang it up, which I have yet to do. But it was interesting to me because you had told me, well, one, you had mentioned before there's a certain way you do your Legos, which...
Right.
I find it infuriating, but I'm just like, okay. And then you told me how you do your puzzles, which again, I'm just like, that makes no sense to me.
Okay.
Which then when I started to do this puzzle, I remember I was here and I was doing it a certain way, and producer Lissa was like, ew, why are you doing it like that? I'm like, well, what other way are you going to do it? And she told me her way. So I had to ask, the general population out there, how do you do your puzzle? How do you start the process? Canaan, can you please explain to the people how you start the process of your puzzles?
Yeah, well, it's very similarly to Legos. I don't know if you remember in season 1 when I talked about this. But the way that I assemble my puzzle pieces, just like my Legos, is before I assemble, I organize things by either color, for Legos, it's by color, by how many, organizing them by the exact pieces that they are. With puzzles, it's very similar, so... you have the image of what the puzzle looks like on the box. So I try to round up all the colors and I try to organize them based on
So that's the first thing you do. You see this picture, and let's just say there's 4 different colors. Let's just say there's red, there's yellow, there's green, there's blue. Yeah. You open up, you see all the puzzle pieces. Then what you're doing is putting all the red together, all the yellow, green, blue together.
Yeah.
Outrageous.
Outrageous. And then I start with corners. So
okay.
I do that, and then I find the edge pieces. So it makes it easier.
Okay.
So then by the time that it's coming through, it's easier. It takes more time to organize it, but it's how my brain works.
Yeah. Well, no, there was a few people that responded to my story that actually said a similar thing. And that's great, but I feel like we're wasting time on the most valuable. We're wasting time.
There's nothing worse. There's nothing worse than just dumping it all out and being like, this piece, and then you have to do a memory game of I remember seeing that type of piece over here, and you're gonna spend more time trying to find things.
Okay, well, I didn't say I do it like that. I will.
No, I'm saying the collective, the people who.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So there's a few people that said similar to what you did. There was somebody that essentially said, when they're looking at the image, then they group up everything. They try to group up everything in that image together. Like, what the heck? That takes forever. This is 1,000 pieces, and they're tiny pieces. Yeah. And then a majority of people say we start with all the edges first, and then we worry about all the inside, which is, I guess, almost similar to what you're saying. I feel like you're putting extra work into finding those extra colors, especially for this puzzle. There was multiple colors on in multiple.
That's true.
Images.
Yeah. Well, I think it depends on what the thing is. If it's easier to, if it's a landscape piece and there's sky colors, if it's sky and clouds, blue and whites, I'll I'm not categorizing in 4 different sections. It's here's the lighter stuff, here's the darker stuff, So it depends on what the art is. But
I think somebody also had mentioned this to you about Legos, and it could even puzzles. We should just do a race and see who finishes first with the.
Yeah, it was Ariana, and she wanted to. She said that my idea was so stupid and so outlandish in front of a bunch of other people, and
I was there, so
my integrity was challenged. But it's fine. Everybody has their own way of doing things, even if it technically will be faster one way.
Things,
yeah,
correct, but it's not always the right way. But moving on.
You're posing a question for.
Yeah, I'm just curious to know everybody's thought process. It's just interesting to see how everybody works through different things, because
problem solving.
Yeah, with the Legos, literally, I just work one bag at a time, and then I'll just dump everything out all together and whatever the image is, and I'll just find those pieces and put it together.
There you go.
Just kidding. So upset about it. Yeah, I was able to use Mod Podge.
Yes. Oh yeah, you sent me a video, didn't you?
Yeah, that my mom had found, so that I can essentially make sure that the puzzle stays together. And now I got to get a nice little frame, and now I'm figuring out where I want to put it. I think I might want to put it in my bathroom. But when I put it up, I'll definitely make sure we have an image so we can do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But it's like holding together okay?
Yeah, I mean, it's just been chilling on my desk for right now, but it's holding together. And I'll get a backard and everything, so it's great. I love it. And it only took me, I think, maybe 3 or 4 days.
Okay, I thought you were saying hours, and I'll be like, what?
No, I didn't do it in one day. Like, I did the corners first.
Yeah.
Like, a reasonable person would.
Sure.
And then, kind of like you, I try to group all the colors because there's 4 different images. There's 4 different images of the Mona Lisa doing different things. So I try to get all the light colors, like, together. And then I kind of just worked all the way in until it was done. It was frustrating. And then, like, when I got to the very last day, I was just like, I need to finish this. Like, it's making me upset. And sometimes when you get into, like, those little pieces that are left, it's, like, the hardest.
I wonder if there's an actual correct way of how to, like, assemble puzzles that's going to be easier.
You know who would know? Is that you've seen, like, no. They have these puzzle contests that essentially like groups of like
what?
2 yeah, like you've never seen this? I've seen it on my social media all the time. No, where essentially it's like 2 people, so we would be a part of the team. They have a puzzle, and then essentially it's whoever can finish the puzzle first. And they're like, go, you start the timer, and then somebody essentially takes the puzzle out, and then they have people assorting everything, and then looking at it's crazy.
That's pretty cool though. I would watch that. They should have done that during COVID. I would have been an avid puzzle competition watcher.
I feel like I would suggest you watch, and I think you'll know the proper way to do a puzzle.
Yeah, but even in competitions, everybody has their own.
Oh yeah, of course.
Even with video game competitions, it's like there's always strategy. Everybody has different ways of approaching, and that's what makes us unique as humans. Oh well, speaking of humans, let's talk about some movies that we've seen as humans. Yeah. Okay.
We've seen a good amount too.
Yeah, and we're seeing one for the second time again today.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah. Because it was that good. But let's start talking. Let's go back in time to Heretic.
Heretic. I can never say it right. I think in a video.
You said Heretic.
In one of the videos we had, because before we saw the movie, we had pizza and beer, and I made a quick video of us before the movie. I forgot to make one after, but I think I was calling it like Hereditary, or I couldn't say it.
You sent me a voice memo. I remember you saying Heretic because you would.
Heretic.
Yeah.
Heretic.
What
does heretic mean?
Isn't it somebody who's like says something blasphemous, like heresy? Where's producer?
I know. Heresy.
Belief or opinion contrary to orthodox religions. Oh, okay.
A person with an opinion on it. Okay. But we saw it. It looked really good. Hugh Grant was in it. I forget the other 2 girls that were in it. One of them, if you ever watched Yellow Jackets, was one of the lead girls, and I don't know the name or what else the other girl did.
Oh, here, let me look it up right now. So
Perfect. Sophie Thatcher
played Sister Barnes, and then Chloe East played Sister Paxton.
Yeah. I really didn't know what to expect going into this. I kind of had a slight idea. Obviously, it was going to be around religion somehow, but I didn't know exactly what it was going to be. Mm-hmm. It was advertised as like, I guess maybe horror thriller. So I was just like, where is this going to take us? So I was just excited to see what it was going to be all about.
Yeah, I remember you had shared with me that it seemed like there was going to be some sort of maze type of aspect to it. And I was like, well, I don't even know, because the trailer itself was very vague, and I like trailers like that because it leaves the imagination open to what it could be more.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I was kind of like, I was excited to see it, but I was also like, I don't know how I'm going to react to this, or like what it's going to be, what the message is going to be with this.
Yeah.
Especially around religious stuff and religious trauma that I have. But it was really good.
Yeah.
I liked like his performance. I loved everybody in it. I think there were some parts that were like, I don't know, they could have worked it out, made it more psychological thriller more, but in terms of execution, I thought it was good.
Yeah.
It was fine.
And I guess it's in the climate we're living in, it's very hits the nose to the head?
Hits the nail on the head?
Hits the nail on the head. No.
The pun intended there.
Whatever.
If you watched Heretic, but hits the nail on the head.
Hits the nail on the head. No, I get it. I mean, it's perspective, right?
Well, perspective, yeah, but also like the concept of belief, I think, is a huge part of this. Is like, how far are you willing to go for your beliefs, and like, have you ever even thought or like opened up your mind to the like what it means to you, and is it just a blind following?
Do you believe in God because somebody told you at an impressionable age that God is real, despite having doubts as you got older, despite seeing evidence to the contrary your whole lives? When your father lost control of his body, did you think it was God's plan to ruin his life? Or did you go on believing something that you know is not true just to give you comfort because you were afraid of what it might mean if it was all a lie?
But it was really good.
I think just the possibility. I mean, we all grew up differently, and we all grew up with different beliefs. So, and essentially, it was eye-opening to get like that perspective of, potentially like where it started, where we're at now, and essentially, ultimately, like the very end of the movie, you kind of get what the message is.
Yeah.
Which I think, again, like just in our climate right now, that's kind of like what we're dealing with, and especially when we're coming on to a day in the next few days. Where we're kind of told this day is about this and kind of this only, and you kind of grow up with that belief, and then later in life when you become adults you realize I was lied to my entire life.
And and like you said, everybody has their own upbringing with this,
right.
And everybody, but for me, I was just like, it was like religion was something that I was a part of, and it was, I just did things just based on what other people told me. And there's parts in this movie that it's like he's asking questions, and one of the girls, because you could tell that both girls are definitely on different journeys.
Right, exactly.
And the girl on the right, one of the characters, it seemed like she was just answering what her religion had instilled in her to say, which is, that could be it for some people. Yeah, anything else about Heretic?
No. If you haven't watched it, I would give it a watch, or you can wait until it comes on a streaming service. But
scale 1 to 10.
I would give it
7.
I was going to say about like a 6.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'd say like a 6 or 7.
Yeah. I think I wish it would have been a little bit more thriller, psychological. There was some parts that I was like, oh, that's a little scary. But otherwise, I think I got with the message, I understood, and I like that. But I think again, there could have been things I would have done a little bit better. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. But
yes.
We have.
Yes.
Oh, like if I were to rate it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Hold on 1 second, guys.
For those listening in, Anna is placing her hand inside an unknown object that will be revealed.
I'm gonna give it a thumbs. I'll give it a medium.
Anna has this foam finger that has the Gladiator 2 logo on it, and it smells horrible.
All right. So, obviously, with this, it says Gladiator 2.
I didn't get one. But
no, Canaan did get one, and like the rum, he forgot it. I said, you're supposed to... What? He forgot everything except himself. That's the most important part. That's the important
thing. Sometimes, and all I can do is just show up. And
there it is. That's it. And you did. And we're here, and we're having a great time. But
you're establishing that for us. We're having a great time.
But yes, I think a week later, Gladiator was coming out. And okay, well, first of all, it's funny how when the Gladiator tickets came out. Okay, first of all, Gladiator and Wicked came out on the same day. They were calling it Glicked, kind of like Barbenheimer.
Well, Glicked, if anything, because that would make sense of how
Glicked. I forget the other word they did. Anyways,
Wickadator was what I wanted it to be, because that's more fun.
It's funny how we only reserved tickets to Gladiator, but like there was no tickets for Wicked, and I honestly thought it would have been the opposite because of our A-list chat.
But I had texted the chat and trying to nobody seemed interested to get tickets.
And then it sucks because obviously we all have different schedules, so
yeah.
I guess whatever. We ended up getting tickets to go see Gladiator, and there was a few people that unfortunately couldn't make it because they were out of town or doing things. But I was like, I'm down to go if you're still down to go. And it was a late showing; it was like 10:30. But either way, we went. We actually went to the Burbank location, if you're familiar with, just the LA area. But we were hungry. We're on a tight budget. We're trying to be financially responsible because we want to do some big things next year. So we want to be responsible with how we spend our money.
Yes.
So we said we're not going to go to BWW.
B-dubs. I'm also trying to search it right now. And
but we went to Slice House. We went to Slice House, which I was like, hey, Canaan, there's like a pizza spot like right there.
Yeah.
We should just go check it out. I mean, there's slices were like $6, I think.
Yeah, so for a cheese pizza, it was $6.50 or $6, and I think the pepperoni was $6.50, something like that.
And there were big slices.
Yeah. They were great.
Yeah. I said, let me have 2. He's like, let me have 1. I'm like, just 1? He's like, yeah, I have a small stomach. I was just like, okay, give me 2 and give me a side of ranch, please. And we did down a lover boy right before we got, because we were trying to be mindful. We didn't want to, demure. But the pizza was great.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like
we might go tonight actually to get slices.
Yeah. Oh, we have to. I mean, I have some money.
It's like I have
emergency money. I have money for Thanksgiving, and I have money for whatever else happens.
It was a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Yeah. The pizza there, like the slices are large. And then for me, so you got ranch with yours.
I did.
You have to pay for sides extra. It's like 75 cents or whatever. But I got, they were asking, do you want ranch or hot honey? And I was like, you know what? I'll get some hot honey. Mm-hmm. That heightened the experience even more. Yeah. What'd you say?
It was good.
Oh yeah. It made it even better. So I think tonight when we go to see the movie that we'll talk about in a moment. Phenomenal work. Because it was, you know, without the hot honey, it was still good, but it added that level of like a little bit more sweetness, which I like in my pizza sauce or pizza.
It was delicious. I ate both, and I said, all right, we got a few minutes. You know, my big thing is every time there's a new movie out, I always want to get the themed drink for the movie. So I'm like, I want to get the Gladiator drink since we're going to see Gladiator.
Right.
I didn't take a picture of it. I think it was called the Maximus Mule.
No, was it?
Yeah, it was called the Maximus Mule.
Ew.
And it was like a shot of Makers and some other stuff.
Oh, Maker's Mark?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, I feel bad because I spent like $20 on that drink, and I maybe had like 5 sips. And I'm like, yeah, I'm over this. I'm done. Plus, it was a long movie, and I was just like, I'm going to pee a lot if I drink this all. I don't know. It wasn't the greatest, but we got our theme.
It was really strong.
It was really strong. Yeah. And it's also funny right now to see a movie because like there's like obviously 2 different crowds of people. You have the people that are going to go see Gladiator, and then you have the people that are going to go see Wicked. And I have really been enjoying like on social media where like people are going up to the AMC Encounters or their whatever theater.
Oh yeah.
And they're just like, well, so what movie are you here to see? And like they're like literally dressed in head to toe like Wicked gear, and they're like, and some guy was dressed as Glinda, and it was funny. And they're just like, what are you here to see? He's like,
Gladiator.
I was like, oh.
Did that on purpose.
But yes, I had the Gladiator drink. Canaan got one of the Wicked drinks.
Yeah.
The pink one.
The pink one.
Which they gave him a pink little glow stick, and he was just like, oh, I don't know if I want to take it into the movie theater because people are going to... I'm like, don't worry about it.
Well, no, I was just worried because the glow stick was really... Like, it looked kind of bright, and I was, like, worried that I'm going to be sitting in this movie theater and this glow stick's just going to be, like, sticking out. But it wasn't too bad.
And I have something to show you guys when we talk about that movie.
Okay.
But, yeah, you got your drink, you liked it, and it was really good.
Yeah, Gladiator 2, I mean, there were 2 parts in the movie, 2 times where I leaned over to Anna and said, wait, who's that?
And I literally was like, you should have watched the first movie.
Yeah, no spoilers here, but whoopsie.
You didn't really need to watch the first movie in order to get it. I did. I watched it a few days before because it's a classic with Russell Crowe. Joaquin Phoenix, and I forget the lady that's in it as well. I mean, there's obviously some other people, but I just wanted to go into it kind of just with just revisiting what the first one was.
You rewatched it.
Yeah.
Which you didn't invite me to, so I also blame you for not me seeing it.
That's why he forgot the rum and his Gladiator thumb. But yes, if we didn't say...
Gladiator 2, yeah. Oh, is that?
They gave us these thumbs to wear... because obviously if you're familiar with the movie, there is parts where in the Colosseum they basically ask, do you want to show mercy or not, and it's like thumbs up, thumbs down. So
let the gods decide.
So they gave us these thumbs so that we can, I guess, participate, and I think maybe we did it once or twice.
They smelled so bad.
I got a headache, I think, like mid-movie, and I'm like...
The fumes of those foam fingers.
Yeah.
And they're not like, people who are listening right now, it's not like a foam finger that you think of where it's like actually like thick material, and it's not, no, it's like the thinnest material ever. And it makes, it just has a Gladiator 2 logo on it. It's very, it's so random. But, thanks AMC, I guess.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's free stuff.
But the crazy thing is, we got those for free. But when I was at the AMC at the Grove the other day, when I went to go watch the other movie, they were selling them.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I think they were selling them, but I think the lady at the counter was in another interaction. And you're like, oh, can I just grab one of these? And she was like, yeah, sure. So it seemed like it would be easier to just have us grab them. So
either way, we saw it. It was okay.
We could sell them.
Oh, God.
We could sell them outside the AMC theaters.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I think I have a hard time with some type of like war films every now and then, or like back in those types of days.
Yeah.
It's like, even though it's not maybe historically accurate, it's still like, it's a very interesting.
Yeah.
It's weird to see people in a coliseum like. Watching people get killed for fun, but for sport. And, there's just different times.
Yeah, it happened. I mean, I did mention to you that I was there when I was on a Europe trip with, shout out Leo, Amy, and Matt. We were actually fortunate enough to go to the Coliseum, and it's just crazy. I think I mentioned to you, like, even being in that moment and standing there, it's just like, it means a lot, and it's like a great feeling, but it's just like, you're never gonna be able to like really like capture, because you were never in that moment. And like just the stuff that we got to see on that movie, regardless if it happened or not or how true it is, it's just like, that's crazy.
Yeah. It's wild to think of like all the stuff that they did, even those ship battles and stuff.
Dude,
someone had asked like, oh, what were were the sharks cool? And I was like, I wonder
if that was real though.
What, sharks?
Like they actually, because I was like, this is like a SeaWorld here. Like,
I don't think it's probably not, because logistically they put water in and then they'd have to bring in a shark.
Yeah,
and
exactly,
then
right?
When they drain the water, where's the shark gonna go?
Food for the people.
You bring it. You know what? I take that back. But you know who would definitely not know? Ridley Scott. From what I've heard, Ridley Scott doesn't really care if it wasn't historically accurate. As long as it looks cool.
Well, it was a fun time. I enjoyed the fight scenes. That was that. And then the next day, you went to go see a movie because...
Well, I saw this movie before Gladiator.
You did?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot. Because I specifically said... Don't say anything. I don't want to know. Don't talk about it. Don't say anything. That's right. And you wanted to say stuff. And you're like, oh, no, but this is just from the... I'm like, I don't want to talk about it.
Because I think I have a pretty good gauge on... If it's in the trailer, I don't consider it a spoiler if it literally shows a shot of something.
I don't want to know.
But yeah, we saw in our own respective spaces Wicked.
Yeah.
Which... was amazing. I come from a background of like, I love theater, I love musicals, but Wicked has always been one that I never like, I've missed it. I've never like been engaged with the music that much. I've never seen the musical. So I came into it like, I'm excited to see what's going to happen. I don't even know. And was completely just in shock, blown away. And I saw it in 3D. There was like a fan screening event, and I felt so bad because I'm like, I'm not even a fan yet. But there were a lot of young kids there. There were like some like teenagers, and then unfortunately, the first 3 minutes of the movie, because it was in 3D, the projector wasn't like properly aligned yet. So at first we're like, oh, maybe like what's going on? Is this part of the movie? But then no, it's like, oh, they're singing now and it's still blurry. So by like minute 2, people are like standing up, everybody's talking, like people are like leaving the theater to talk to the like the projectionist and stuff like that to get it working. And I kid you not, when you eventually see this, and it's in the trailer, but when Ariana Grande's character, Glinda the Good Witch, when she pops the bubble, that's as soon as the 3D like actually got activated, and everybody started clapping because it was like, whoa, she did it, she fixed it, which was thoroughly, it was amazing. But yeah, oh my god, the music was fun, it was cool. The exact reason I was excited is the exact reason why it was amazing. Ariana Grande freaking crushing it as Glinda, and that's even a longer story of manifestation of how she's always wanted to play her someday, even from like 10 years ago, which was amazing. And she killed that type of like perky, like feminine, vocals and stuff. Yeah. And then of course we have Cynthia. I think it's Erivo.
Ivero.
It's Erivo. Erivo.
Yeah.
Erivo.
Stole the whole thing.
Yeah. She was so good, and I'll let you talk about it as well. But like, I know from my perspective, because I'm a cis white male, I do have a limited perspective, but I could tell and I could feel and I could empathize with, there was one scene, which I'm not going to spoil, but it's also in the trailer of when she's like, picking up the hat and putting it on in the dance, whatever. And, she's like crying. And I'm like, this is like, I feel this in this moment. Like, as a human being, it's like the struggle and that you can't help but like empathize and be like, this is what it's like. This is like, for women, but also people of color too. Yeah.
For anybody that's unique and different in their own way, I think. Not even that. Yeah. Just anybody that's different than anybody else.
Yeah, that is,
I mean, it was a great addition because I think a lot of people just, in what I was reading, were just like, why hasn't anybody like this played, a character like this before? Obviously, this started this has been around for,
since the early 2000s.
Well,
like
I think 1900s is when like the Wizard series I think started. The Wizard of Oz I think released in 1939. We had the Wicked musical in 2003 with obviously the iconic idols of Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth. But going into it, obviously I don't have any background in theater, but it was a big thing growing up because obviously the Broadway play started in 2003. So I always wanted to go, and of course it was just in New York. They obviously have them all around now, but like that was the place you had to be to see it. And I was never fortunate enough to go, but now that they started doing like all of them like around the world, essentially they have one actually coming up here, which I really want to see.
In December, right?
The Pantagians, because I do want to see like the Broadway musical still.
James is going to that.
But I was just excited to see it. I don't really care for musicals. I'm not a big musical person. So for me it was just like, okay, well, I'm either really going to enjoy this or I'm not going to enjoy it at all. And I loved every single minute of it. I was so excited. Great. I took my mom and Lissa with us to go see it. We got the 2 drinks, so we got the Glinda drink and the Elphaba drink, and we got a cool little ice cube that lit up, and it lit up in pink, but what was even better is that it also did like flashing lights.
See, that's pretty cool.
And so when people were coming into the theater and had their flashing lights on, because me and Alyssa were already a little tipsy, we're like, ooh, ooh, ooh.
We did that with Gladiator as well, though. Remember with the foam finger, there was someone in the row in front of us a little bit. We're like, hey you, hey, nice, hey, look at that.
It was such a good movie. Yeah. It was such a good movie.
Yeah, it was powerful.
Yeah. Popular has been in my head for like the longest time, and I'll just hum it and Lisa will be like, please stop. Defying Gravity, great. Like the last 30 minutes of the movie, if you go see it, there is no spoiler. Obviously, I'm not going to say what happens. You have to see it. It's a visually beautiful movie. Yeah. But like obviously if you've seen the play or read the book, like you know what's going to happen. But like that last 30 minutes, I was like, holy shit. It was great. Like,
I was even explaining to Anna, there's like, it's rare to have this happen in movies where, you always hear that expression, like I'm at the edge of my seat. But literally there's a point in the last song with,
Defying Gravity?
Yeah, and like there's a moment, or it feels like you're on a roller coaster and then you're about to like fall, and there's that moment of just at the height of where you are and then you're about to drop. It felt like that, just odd, like she's ramping up the song, she's singing, and then there's a beat, there's like a moment where you just feel like you're in the air with her, and then she delivers that final. It's so good, and I just sat there in shock. If you saw my Instagram,
I'm excited to just get in it. I'll post my thoughts after.
The story.
I didn't want to say anything. No, it was great. I mean, I think I like the fact that you go into it thinking it's going to be about one thing. Like, I'm like, oh, obviously, Glinda's going to be like this good witch, and obviously, Alphabet, I wasn't sure, but like at the end of the movie, you kind of understand more what the true meaning is, and Glinda is not a good witch. But my sister, the producer, thought it was okay. My mom was just like, I like the Broadway musical better than this. And I get it. I think, a lot of times I think it's either a generational thing. And then I think also it's kind of like, I think of it as almost like a book adaptation to a movie. Just like when you read a book, like there's obviously so much detail, and then you build this imagination of what it's supposed to be. So when you see the movie, it's just like, well, this did not meet my expectation whatsoever.
Right, that's true.
I feel like with the play, you go and see a Broadway play, which is great, but you also are just set to a stage the entire time. And again, you love it for what it is, but then you go to a movie and you can do so many things with a movie you can't do. And it's just like, maybe it's a little too much. And I think that's where my mom was at. Like, I get it. She's like, I'd rather the Broadway musical than this. I think it was a little just much. Yeah. Which I get. To each their own.
There's always ups and downsides to Broadway as well. Like they did it with Hamilton on Disney Plus.
Oh, yeah.
Like where you're getting kind of these wider shots, and it's, you're still getting the theater experience, but there needs to be some breathing room. And I think that's why they made it a two-parter for Wicked.
Yeah.
So it's part 1 and part 2.
Yeah.
It's coming out next year, part 2.
Yeah, and I think November 2025 they said that they already had put it up. Yeah.
The director
did
such a good job.
for like the first part, and then essentially this is like intermission, I guess, in the play if you watch it, and then I don't want to really get into the details of I'm not trying to read what. Well, obviously, there's a lot of people that already know what's going to happen, and I don't want to know what's good.
Yeah, I don't want to know either.
And they're just like, people have to wait to only find out. I'm like, no, I don't want to know.
Yeah. Well, even the question that I have, which I guess I can't even share because it's spoilers for the movie, but one character, I was like, wait, this has to be who this is, right?
What you told me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure, and I hope it is.
It is.
Oh, it is?
Because I even said something to my mom, and she's like, yeah, duh.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know if they just needed a guy. They were like, let's just get him.
That was the plan the entire time. Yeah. But anyways, so right after I saw it, it's a beautiful movie. The colors, the people, the whole cast, everything was amazing. So if you haven't watched it, I give it a Gladiator thumbs up.
You give another movie a Gladiator thumbs up.
We're actually going to go watch it again tonight. So,
yeah.
After we wrap this up, we actually have to head out to watch it.
With BB.
Yeah.
Of course. But it's spectacular.
Yeah. So good I had to come home and watch Wizard of Oz because I was like, let me go. And again, classic with Judy Garland and everything. It was great. Yeah.
So guys, quick thing, Coachella. There is an announcement with the lineup, right? We got Lady Gaga,
Missy Elliott,
Green Day.
Wait, what did you say?
Green Day. Post Malone,
Charlie XCX.
Joe,
Artemis, T-Pain, Zed,
3 6 Mafia.
Travis Scott's doing the design of all of Coachella.
I said Joe already. Did I say Joe?
You said Joe already. Yeah. Jimmy Eat World.
Oh, Jimmy Eat World. Thank you. That's what I was looking for the whole time.
There's
there's a lot more.
Yeah, there's a great lineup that's out. You can see it on Coachella's page.
And we got our tickets already.
We already got our tickets. We're excited. I'm excited. I can't wait.
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun. Segueing off to that, we do have something exciting coming up. We have we'll call it just a thankful day, I guess, coming up where we get to spend time with friends and family. But we're also doing a turkey trot that morning.
Yes.
That we signed up for.
6 a.m.
6 a.m. we have to pick up our bibs. We could have actually picked them up today, but we're just going to pick them up the day of.
Oh, okay.
I know, I saw that.
I have to show up before they do because my 5K.
We're going to all show up together.
But I have to start my race before they do because of the it's a 5K, and I didn't want to do the turkey trot or what's the
wibble wobble.
The wibble wobble for the little
like
kids.
10 and under or something. You signed up for a 5K. Brendan and I are doing a 10K. So I got us something because I thought it'd be really cool that we all kind of have something that we can accessorize and match with. Ooh. So if you want to talk about how. While I go grab it real quick, what you've been doing in preparation for the race, if you want to tell the people.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Well, this White Claw that I've just been drinking, that's probably healthy in some way, shape, or form. 0 protein, 2 grams of carbs, total sugars 2 grams. So I'm really cutting down on those sugars. I've been walking, exercising. Never. The Orange Theory class I was going to sign up for, but then it was so expensive that I couldn't even do it. So,
all right, I'm back.
See, I'm nervous of how small it is.
Oh my God, no. Okay, so obviously, I've been running a lot, obviously, because we're training. I'm training for a marathon for next year, which we'll announce. We're running for a charity, so we're gonna get into more details next episode, because we'll have Brendan on for that. But I got us something cool because when I'm always running, I don't have any cool sunglasses. So I'm like, what better way than to get some sunglasses for all of us? So Brendan's not here, but I got him. I don't want to take it out of the bag, so I'm going to show him later. But I got him some sunglasses that look like a sunset. So I'm going to give them to him later. And then I got kind of mine that kind of look like a sunrise, I guess. Yeah. And then I got Canaan a pair as well. Nice, cool. I think
Cool Ranch.
Cool Ranch. But try them on, make sure they fit and everything.
Ooh,
because when we're out there running in the sun, I want to make sure that.
These are straight up black too.
No, they have a little purple tint on it.
Oh, I do see that.
Yeah.
It's it reminds me of grape soda.
But I want to make sure they fit. Oh, heck yeah, buddy. Heck yeah.
Anytime I put on sunglasses. Oh, these are nice though.
Yeah, right?
It perfectly aligns to my cheeks too.
Listen, I was so scared because when I got them, I'm like, listen, obviously I'm a little bit of a budget. So I was like, let me get the cheapest sunglasses I can get. But it said youth, men's, and women's. So I was really afraid that when they came in, they were going to be baby size. I was like,
these are perfect.
Yeah.
I like them. I might just wear these for the rest of my life. Show up at work and I'm just going to be straight
Canaan
face.
gives it a Gladiator thumbs up.
Thank you so much for these.
Yeah, no worries.
I'll have to get you guys something as well.
Yeah, you don't have to do that.
Yeah,
but I'll give it Brendan's later today, and maybe I'll record him when I give it to him. But afterwards, we are having a nice little, I guess we can call it a Friendsgiving, Friends family giving here at my house.
Yeah.
And we're
it's family giving. I'm part of the family now. Lisa confirmed it.
Yes.
So
the dogs know Canaan as Uncle Canaan. So
and they apparently know my scent now because
he's down a mile away and they're out by the door just waiting. I'm like, bro, chill. But we're getting food catered. My mom is putting in an order for us, which she already did. So thank you, Mom, for that. But we also said, Canaan, if you want, you can make some things. So Canaan's gonna make us some mashed potatoes and some bread and
homemade bread. Yeah,
homemade bread. And homemade mashed potatoes. So we'll see. Putting them to the test.
I mean, Lisa had originally said, "Don't make any white man or white people food." I was like, "What's that supposed to mean?" And that's mashed potatoes, but you guys were fine with, which is very much a white person food.
We love mashed potatoes, but I mean, listen.
The only exception.
I mean, I'm sure they're going to be good, okay? And we'll be honest if they're not. But I mean, of course, there is, maybe there's people out there that don't know how to season the mashed potatoes correctly and they come out very bland.
Some people don't know what salt and pepper are.
So we just wanted to make sure you put the proper loving care into those mashed potatoes.
Oh, I will.
Okay.
I will. I have my own method of peeling the potatoes. You boil them and then you put them in cold ice so then it's easier for the skin to peel off, and then you mush them, and then you don't mush them too much. You don't want them to be just creamy. You want a little bit of chunk.
Yeah.
Put some butter in there. Maybe a little bit of garlic, depending on what your type of vibe is for mashed potatoes. But it's my favorite thing in the meal. Okay.
Yeah. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be a day filled with lots of eating. I told him to wear his stretchy pants. I let him know that he's allowed to sleep and take a nap.
Yeah.
And he did forewarn me of things that may have to happen that day. And I said, just light a candle, buddy. Do what you gotta do.
Yeah, it is what it is. I'm bringing my portable bidet and everything. 'Cause Anna somehow still doesn't have a bidet. But guess what? The holidays and your birthday are coming up. So
I don't want anything on my butt. Anyways.
It's not going on your butt. It's not even going in your butt. It's near the vicinity.
Oh my gosh. And then with that, we have reached out to a good amount of our listeners and our good friends, and we just wanted to know what you all are thankful for out there. So, like, thank you for everybody that submitted something. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
And we're gonna kind of go through, because hopefully we can have this up for Thanksgiving. So, of course, when you're with your friends and family, this is gonna be the perfect thing to put on for that day.
That's true. After you eat before football or whatever you're watching, or feel free to hang out with us for the Thanksgiving holiday.
Yeah.
First, we're going to start off from Andy. We're going to hear a little bit from Andy. Oh, whoops.
Well, this year has been very challenging for me personally, but also globally and emotionally and physically, everythingly. And of course, I'm always grateful and thankful for the people I have in my life, my boyfriend, my family, my friends, the chorus I sing with. But more specifically this year, I am thankful for the sense of community that brings me. There's just something about knowing that these people that you surround yourself with will show up for you and let you vent and talk and scream and cry, and just having them there to fall back on was very important for me this year. And so for that, I am thankful, and they all know that I would do it for them in a heartbeat back. And because for me, if you don't have that, what is this all for,
Right.
Wow, did I just get deep on the sipping truth?
It's all true here. I mean, that is also a really good point. It's like when I remember talking therapy, it's like talking about what friends are, and it's like, well, I don't want to, to feel like I'm using them, or if I'm going through something, and then my therapist is like, that's literally what friends are for. You have to use them to rely on them and to be there for them, and have it reciprocated. So, Andy, I need $20 at your soonest convenience. I'm just kidding. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you.
Next, we have Ariana.
I'm super duper grateful for the people in my life. Those are my family, my friends, and most importantly, I'm thankful for one furry animal, and that's Lucy.
Oh, Lucy, we love you, Lucy. Lucy is Baxter's girlfriend, just heads up. So all you other dogs out there, back up.
You better back away. If you're watching this, you better back away. Okay. Next, we have Jersey.
Hey. This is for my sipping truth people. I would say that the number one thing I'm thankful for is probably chosen family. I think that not everybody gets a great family, but we definitely can choose our own. So I'm thankful for all my friends and family, and the friends that are close enough to be considered family. So that, I would say, is what I'm the most thankful for, because they always have my back.
Absolutely
thanks,
true.
Jersey.
I think I'm a very big benefactor of that as well. I mean, I'm a living embodiment of how the chosen family are, for me personally. It's more impactful in my life.
Yeah.
So, all right, Sauce.
I'm thankful for my health, my dog, and the ability to travel. And Reese's.
Ooh, we love a good Reese's.
Reese's Sticks is my favorite
Reese's
version.
Pieces is mine.
That's good.
And we actually have 2 big ass half-pound Reese's Pieces.
Still?
Yeah, we can't eat all that. It's a lot.
Oh, let's take them until the movie.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Thank you, Sauce.
Things that I'm grateful for this year
Manny?
are my health. I've been able to be healthy this whole year. Nothing drastic has happened to me. I've been able to go to the gym, work out, and build that strength that everybody wants to build, and also build that mental strength that everybody wants to achieve one day. And I've been able to improve and manage myself throughout this whole year, which I'm super grateful for. I'm also super, super, super grateful for my pets. I'm a dog lover. I love dogs. This year, luckily, we've had another dog added to the family. His name is Arlo. He's a miniature schnauzer. I love him to death. I also have a beagle, which I love him to death as well. They've both been there to make me happy. You know, of course, I love them both. Another thing that I'm super grateful for are friends and family around me. They've been able to help me, you know, be myself, improve on myself, help me through, you know, tough situations. We've experienced a lot of joy and we've experienced a lot of happiness throughout this whole year. Another super important person that I should be thankful for is my girlfriend. You know, she's been with me through thick and thin. We both have helped each other out tremendously a lot this year. We both have growth in our jobs and we both are little by little achieving our goals that we want. And hopefully, you know, we get the opportunity to make more goals and, you know, achieve those goals throughout the years.
Yeah.
And lastly, I think the opportunity of growth, I'm super grateful for that because I've had friends around me that, you know, have helped me, you know, achieve the goals that I have. And also, I've worked on myself and been able to improve myself throughout this whole year, which I'm super grateful for because sometimes, you know, we get lost. And luckily, you know, I've had that support from everybody around me to help me keep on track and basically push myself each and every day to be a better version of myself. Thank you. Peace.
Wow, Manny, that's very profound.
Yes.
That's very similar to the journey I'm on too, which is great.
Love it. Thanks, Manny.
Next we have Brenny.
Brenny.
Okay, obviously I'm grateful for like my friends, my family, my health,
Obviously.
that sort of stuff. I'm grateful I was able to travel this year. I went on like multiple trips. Like I recently saw my family. That was nice. I'm grateful for this man literally staring at me as I'm filming this on a red light. I guess that's all I'm grateful for.
Okay. I'm staring at this man. I'm like, is there this man?
I'm like, wait, what? Thanks, Brenny. We appreciate it.
Breaking news on the Sip of Truth. All right.
Hey, this is Victor. What I'm grateful for this holiday season is Kendrick dropping a new album that my family and friends and I can huddle around and keep warm around this winter.
That heat.
Keep listening to the Sippin' Truth.
Thank you, Victor.
Oh my God, Victor, that was the best. Thank you.
Crushed it. Next to Jara. Thank you, Victor.
I am thankful for peace and a semblance of safety at home.
Oh, thanks, Ajara. It's good to hear everybody's voice.
Yeah. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
The last, not least, we have Brendan.
I'm thankful for honesty. I'm thankful for like cups and things that you can like sip out of. I'm thankful for people in my life who aren't liars. I'm thankful for like tea and coffee. And drinks that are like hot enough that you have to like take sips. And I'm thankful for like 5Ks and 10Ks and 15Ks, ones that you run.
Oh shit!
The passive aggressiveness in that was real a couple of times. Well, everybody, I really appreciate you sending in those messages.
Yeah,
that was really
it means
wonderful. Yeah, and I appreciate every single one of you, even if you didn't send in a message. I'm thankful for me personally, just for all of you. And
that's why we do it. We do it for you.
Yeah.
That's why we're here, guys, to just make your day better.
Yeah, even if it's a little bit better.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're not making it worse. If so, let us know, and then we'll find a way to block you. All right. Well, what are you thankful for?
I'm thankful for everything. Friends, family, my pups. Thankful for this podcast. So I'm glad we're able to sit here whenever we get a chance to be able to just talk about the great things that we have been able to do. We've done a lot this year, and the year isn't over yet, so we have a lot of still some fun things planned. So it's gonna be a good Friendsgiving, Family Giving day. Right after we bust out this 5K, 10K with our cool sunglasses now.
Also, we're on episode 6 now, by the way.
Bye, everybody. You heard me when I said 5.